Hi, good afternoon. My name is Célia Barbosa. I started to study this topic some years ago, and my question is based on the thought that some of the most valuable companies in the world, they rely on information services, information products. So my question is why? Because information is so soft, but at the same time so strong. So I work with the enablers and inhibitors for information governance in companies, and it's a PhD work here at the department. I work with the supervisory of Professor Fernando Laurindo. Well, information governance is a concept that is related to the management of all information assets of a company, of an organization. It is presented in the literature as an alternative, a logical alternative to the technical aspects of information technology management. And it deals with information in the whole life cycle, since the capture or creation of information through the use and especially the evaluation of information, which is a different practice for us. My main goal with this research is to map the enablers and inhibitors and describe how they are related to each other. And the secondary goals, I want to analyze what differences they present, the topic information governance present, related to technical aspects of governance. And another secondary goal is to ask why companies are doing that. What are the biggest challenges and the contributions? Well, I'm working with a qualitative research based on multiple case studies, working on, I designed the research for 7 industries, and companies in these industries, they are chosen basically according to 2 criteria. The first one being that the companies, they have to use very intensively the information, not only on the products and services they present to the market, but also on the value chain, on the process of producing those services. And the second point is that those companies, they should be large. Being a large company for the Brazilian reality, they have to perform at least $100 million a year. But I do have some huge companies and a global perspective. So the companies, they are very, how can I say, it's very challenging to work with them. Case studies, I have until now 20 companies, 20 case studies performed, and 24 interviews. I'm talking to board members and C-level suite professionals, and also to executive members of the companies, because they are very top influencers in these companies. And they make their business and the strategic decisions based on the information they have, or the information they do not have. So it's very relevant for these studies to understand how those processes of managing information as a flow of information from the beginning, from the capture, since the decision making. All the interviews having been made according to the most rigorous processes. I'm transcripting them and recording them, and all of them are being validated from the professionals. Okay, basically I used 2 research models. One was designed especially for this research, which aims to investigate in literature what can be a list of enabler and inhibitors. There is no consensus on that. And based on this research, on this literature research model, I came to another one, which is used now for the analysis of the results. This model was presented by Talon, Ramirez, and Short. It has a map of, it has a list of enablers and inhibitors, but it segregates those factors based on the impact on the adoption of information governance programs for the companies. So it's a characteristic of this model. At this exact point of the research. I'm finishing my field study, and I'm starting the analysis of the results and discussing the cases. But I would like to share with you some thoughts and some results very preliminary that I have until now. The first one being that we can apply a new perspective on the analysis model, reconfiguring the factors based on the dimension of the factor, because we have organizational, technical, and relational aspects, and they can. And this seems to be a more simple way to present, and a more intuitive way when you address the market, when you address people. It's also possible to note that we do have different perceptions on application of the model here in Brazil, especially due to the background from the professionals. If they come from technical side, they tend to be more strictly, more connected to the best practices of the industry. If the interviewed person comes from business side, it tends to be more adaptive and doesn't care a lot about the very good practice. It tends to work. It works or not works. There is a very nice topic for me, because the original model, it is very concerned with the intra-organizational aspects, and it doesn't preview the external regulatory factors. In all the companies that I have worked with, people say that this is a strong pressure today, and because companies have to comply with the factors or comply with the legislation, the requirements, otherwise they will have to explain why they do not. So it puts a pressure on how people use the information, how this information is guaranteed inside the company, and especially throughout the market. And finally, it's some thoughts. Information governance is seen by companies as, in essence, a must-have for telling stories that make sense. Make sense for people, make sense for business. Because people say, it doesn't matter for me to have tons of data if I can make smart decisions, smart products, if I can have a discussion with this. Another topic is that information governance is important for telling stories that have a beginning, middle, and end, meaning that they can, working with this information governance, people in companies, they can provide better explanations, and they can have better arguments for their decisions. Companies are changing according to the information they have, according to the information they do not have. And it seems to be a very relevant topic for people, because they are changing itself in the way they relate to information. So basically it's this. I hope we could have a partnership and collaborate a little bit more on this. Thank you very much.